Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Cushy and I'm an administrative officer at G-MEO. On March 17th, G-MEO held our webinar, All You Need to Know About Virtual Internships in China. And I'd like to give you a quick summary of what we talked about. So we held this webinar because of course virtual internships are gaining popularity due to the pandemic. So we talked about what virtual internships are, the benefits they have, how to offset the cons, and how students can find the best virtual internship that fits them. First, I'd like to give a quick summary of who we are. G-MEO is an international education provider, and we run year-round programs in China, mainly in Chengdu. We've been operating the Chengdu American Center for Study Abroad since 2012, and we currently have the Alternative Spring Program running for Chinese international students who are unable to return to the US. We have a lot of past experience with on-site internships, and we have now, like many others, transitioned into virtual internships. So we hope to provide some valuable insight for educators, providers, and for students. First, I'd like to introduce our panelists. We have Vanilla Wu, who is the general manager at the American Chamber of Commerce in Southwest China. She is an accomplished representative of several companies and has extensive experience working with cross-cultural teams and interns from a variety of backgrounds, and is especially helpful giving her perspective working for a Chinese company. Susie Rashu is the director of the Office of International Programs at Stevens Institute of Technology. So she facilitates all international exchanges and partnerships and works closely with study abroad and international students and has helped a lot with Stevens starting their virtual internships. Sarah Luo is the director of G-MEO's Chengdu American Center for Study Abroad. She's been with G-MEO since 2015 and has played many important roles at the center, especially when it comes to internship placement and working with Chinese companies and helping place students in their internships. We also had two student speakers, Tori Hickson from Norwich University, who did an internship with G-MEO in Chengdu with a law firm, and Shafak Tanwir did an internship with a New Zealand organization, but she did hers virtually, and she's a student at Stevens Institute of Technology. So first, Vanilla Wu did her presentation about three main topics. First, the benefits of an intercultural relationship between the US and China. She talked a lot about how working internationally helped her develop skills just beyond those needed for test taking, and how international vision, high adaptability, language skills, a strong sense of sympathy, an interpersonal network, and strong independence are all things that can grow from working with this intercultural relationship. Next, she talked about how to maximize the benefits of a virtual internship. You need to set your goals high, work hard, and keep communication. And she gave a 5-step goal. So 5 steps are routine, goals and objectives, communication, feedback, and networking. And then she talked about what the American Chamber of Commerce is looking for. So the American Chamber of Commerce has over 300 members, and they're looking to promote economy, trade, and culture. So companies in all fields are offering virtual internships. So they're working as a bridge to match students with their majors with internship placements. Our next speaker was Sarah from G-MEO. She talked about G-MEO's internship program. So G-MEO is focused on professional development, cross-cultural communication skills, and self-discovery. So it's really a balance to further students' development. G-MEO has already run 23 cohorts and hosted over 800 students, and about a third of them have done internships. We have contacts with over 50 internship providers in a variety of fields, and summer virtual internships, she explained, are 4 or 8 weeks. You do credit or non-credit, and the application deadline is April 15th. She explained how to find a good placement for students. So students need to have the correct priorities and the right expectations. They need to match their major and their cultural exchange goals and be prepared for culture shock. She also explained the importance of preparing for the interview and showing a real interest and passion. She also talked about her thoughts on the future of virtual internships. Virtual internships are a growing trend in China, just as they are in the US. So we have great support from the local government, and people are more and more used to working from home. The Chinese economy is recovering from the pandemic, which means that more opportunities and a need for international students is growing. We heard briefly from our G-MEO alum, Tori, who talked about how she interned at a law office in Chengdu, and she learned a lot of lessons on cultural exchange and communication. So this exchange created a great environment for her to get tasks done and to have a mutually beneficial relationship with the company that she was working for. Her tips for working with a Chinese company were don't hesitate to ask questions, go into the internship with some professional and personal goals to help you focus on what you're doing, and to think about the social connection aspect, to be thoughtful of other people. Next, we heard from Susie from Stevens. She gave a quick explanation of how virtual internships are growing, especially at Stevens. She explained how they had a quick pivot from on-site to virtual after the pandemic started, and how now there are more and more scholarships available for virtual students, including Gilman. And when presented with a chance, students do jump at the opportunity to do a virtual internship. And then she also talked about how working remotely across cultures is actually a very valuable skill. It's unexpected that students would have to take this on, but it's actually good to develop their adaptability, and it's useful to show future employers. So it takes a lot of experience and practice to manage cross-cultural teams and to improve their digital skills. Last, we heard from Shafaq, who talked about her experience doing a virtual internship. She did a virtual internship from home. She was still able to develop personally and professionally. She was able to increase her cross-cultural skills and awareness, and also her skills in communication, organization, and her technical skills. So it was still a very valuable experience. The lessons she learned were to keep up with communication and don't be afraid to reach out to better understand the culture and environment, and to ask professional and cultural questions, and to be open-minded. Last, we did have a 15-minute Q&A at the end, so I'd like to briefly describe what we talked about in the Q&A. You can see here the first question was how many hours did the students have their internships for, and how was the balance of academic coursework and their internship. Tori said that her internship was flexible. She took classes as well during the first 5 weeks. Shafaq said that virtual internships are flexible for her too, and she could communicate to create a work schedule, especially being considerate of each other due to the time differences. The next question was asking about whether internships are only for students or are there opportunities for postgrads. Sarah explained that with G-MEO, the IIC program is just for a certificate, not for credits, so it's good for postgrads. Next, what positions are available at the American Chamber of Commerce? Vanilla said that they have some full-time on-site internships in positions like human resources, event coordinators, and then virtually many positions are also available, especially with the American Business in China publications. They were also asked if they got credits for their internship and did they get instruction. Shafaq said that she got 3 credits for her internship, and there was a course provided about cultural and professional information, but most of the instruction and interaction she had was directly with the company that she was interning for. When asked what they wish they had done differently, Tori said that she would first increase communication and ask for more help, and second, approach it with more focused goals and intentions. Shafaq said that she agreed and that communication was the most important thing, especially with schedule and time difference, to balance your focus on the professional and cultural aspects. So make sure you're not just focusing on work, but you're trying to understand the cultural exchange as well. And you really have to work on that because it is just remote. And then the last question was, how can I partner with organizations in China to increase Black student participation in internships in China? Susie talked about how Stevens has been spending a lot of time looking into this. She said it's difficult to get participation from students of color, and a lot of it has to do with outreach through student unions and organizations, and making sure that there is financial support as well as the resources to deal with fears and expectations. So thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and please feel free to reach out to me by email or on any of our social media. We would love to hear from you at G-MEO. Thank you.